Hello, my name is David Thornblad, and this is my high-level expansion for the Temple of Elemental Evil, originally released in 2003 by Troika Games. Since release, this game has been modified by the Circle of 8 community, which has added content and raised the level cap, but there has been a lack of content developed for high-level parties. This expansion seeks to open the door to new content by eventually making the heroes either lords or warlords of the town of Hamlet, and confronting them with many of the problems a ruler would face. My expansion becomes accessible to the player when they find a golden orb in the Temple of Elemental Evil. This powerful item allows the heroes to defeat the final boss in the original game, but is too powerful to allow for balanced gameplay in my expansion. Therefore, to access my new content, the player must give the orb to either the forces of good or evil. In this short video, I will quickly walk through most of the quest chain if the player decides to give the orb to the side of good. We begin with the heroes giving the golden orb to the wizard in the town of Hamlet. He reluctantly takes possession of the orb, fearing it will attract the forces of evil to the town. He asks the party to scout the road into town for any potential danger until he can figure out what to do with the orb. On the road, the heroes meet an old man asking for directions to Hamlet. He soon becomes deranged, claiming he can sense the orb's presence on the heroes, and suddenly transforms into an elementalist of evil alignment. Once the players kill him, a Hamlet guard appears on the road, pleading for the heroes' help, claiming that the town of Hamlet is being attacked. The players arrive in Hamlet and find the town leaders in a standoff with a powerful evil cleric and some of his minions. The evil cleric demands the orb, and when it is not given to him, calls upon his god to destroy the town leaders. The players must now defend Hamlet and defeat the invading force. In the following combat, you can see the action is sped up, and during this time I would like to note some design features of the rest of the expansion. This game is coded with Python script, which I learned to design many aspects of this expansion, including the dialogue sequences, signaling all game variables and flags, adding quests and reputations, and some of the spell effects during dialogue cutscenes, such as the flame we just saw fall from the sky. While I am not a professional, I have experienced coding in many other languages and learned Python easily. I designed the battles in this expansion to have a 50% survival rate on the player's first attempt. Since the players will probably have a high-level wizard character with a Slay Living spell, I felt it was best to have the player fight multiple opponents instead of one very hard opponent, which could be killed with such a spell. I also have given all enemies some form of spell resistance, and instructed some to attack mages and healers first. Finally, if the player wishes to roleplay evil characters, they can give the golden orb to an evil cleric, who plans to use the orb to invade Hamlet. The cleric will then ask the players to join the invasion, and if they agree, they will be forced to fight the leaders of Hamlet. After the invasion, the characters become warlords of the town, and face many of the same problems a good aligned leader of Hamlet would face. As this battle ends, townspeople spawn, thanking the heroes for saving them. They also plead that the characters become lords of Hamlet, to which the characters reluctantly agree. The heroes are also given the Wizard's Tower in Hamlet as their new residence. There is now a captain of the guard in the tower acting as a quest giver, who suggests the heroes finish construction on the town's castle as a new measure of defense. When the heroes agree to finish construction on the castle, the captain informs the heroes that bandits have taken over the nearby woods, and they need to be cleared out before the town will have the wood it needs for the castle's construction. The heroes can go to the forest through dialogue with the captain, or through the world map, and confront the bandits. If the party is evil, and killed the Hamlet's druid in their invasion, then they will be confronted with an arch-druid seeking revenge, which for demonstration purposes I have included in this fight. I'm going to skip ahead to the next section of the expansion for time's sake. When the heroes return after clearing the forest of bandits, the captain and the guard informs them that laborers getting stone from the castle and the town mine were working when all of a sudden a tremor collapsed the walls and created an opening into an unknown chamber. Dwarves popped out of the opening and drove off the townsfolk. The heroes need to reclaim the mine in order to complete construction of the castle. The heroes enter the mine, a map I designed for the expansion, and are confronted by the king of the dwarves. He claims this mountain as his own and demands that the heroes leave. The players have the option to fight him and his army for the mine, or use diplomacy to make an arrangement between the dwarves and Hamlet. After much negotiation, Hamlet will agree to provide food for the dwarves in exchange for the stone they need. In future expansions, the players will be able to gain a blacksmith from the dwarves to replace the one they lost when Hamlet was invaded. When the party returns to town, and enough time has passed with all the castle quests complete, the castle worksite goes from this to this complete building. The players can go inside the castle, which houses a kitchen and living areas for the town guards on the first floor, and more extravagant living quarters for the heroes on the second floor. This castle will be the cornerstone for future expansions and quests. Thank you for looking at my expansion. I'm currently in the final debugging phase, and I should be released on the Circle of 8 website by March 2009.